So, last day of Vidcon. I kind of had a late start. I guess I just crashed last night and I didn't wake up till 9:30 and I didn't think to set an alarm. So there was a I can't remember what it was called. There's a panel at 10 that I wanted to get to, but I just was moving really slow, so I missed it. I didn't even realize that there's a whole other building over there that has creator stuff. It's a creator lounge, and they have some different exhibit halls, and they have the Video Leap lounge, which I didn't even know was there, where they have these little stands that you can film different content at, sort of sets. And basically last night I decided to go over to the Marriott and try their restaurant. Don't recommend. Super overpriced and not good. I got a $10 salad, and then as I was ordering it, she's like, "Oh, would you like to add salmon?" I'm like, "Okay." $12 for just a chunk of salmon. I could I could get a full size salmon for half of that. Anyway, and I actually haven't eaten it yet because I just started talking to people last night and I was too tired to eat it, and then I brought it with me and it's all frozen from being in the fridge. Anyway, so last night, I went over to the restaurant. My makeup is already messing up, of course. And I just started talking to people, and there was this group that looked like they were having fun, and I kind of just started talking to them, and it turned out to be, as keeps happening, it turned out to be really sweet. And the main girl I talked to, a woman, her name is Rachel, I think, and she works for the Video Leap lounge thing, and so that was how I found out about it. I went over there to say hi to her, and she wasn't there at the moment, so I'm going to try to find a moment to go over there again some other time. I have been, this whole week, I've just been doing panel, and they have almost all been really, really good. The only one that I left early was industry keynote, and it just, I don't know, it was just it was very brand focused, corporate focused, and I'm like, this is not for me. Brands won't touch me. So anyway, so the panel that I just came out of was yet another diversity one, and I really, really made sure I didn't miss this one because it had some really good creators, including two that I have followed for a long time and was really excited to see on the schedule. Philosophy Tube and Crutches on Spice. And if you haven't heard of them, I mean, oh my god. So Philosophy Tube is a YouTube channel where she does, each video is about a different philosophical thing, or just social thing or whatever. And she's a little bit like ContraPoints, except that they're not so satirical, but they're still really, really good. And she has a wonderful speaking voice because she's also a professional actor. Everything is so fucking noisy here. Anyway, and then Crutches and Spice is a black disabled activist who is on Twitter mostly, and I briefly talked to them and I joked to her that I've retweeted everything she's ever posted to Twitter. And then there was also Blair Imani, who I watched a little bit of content of. I didn't find out about her until I was doing the featured creators research thing, and so I was trying to cram, watching a little bit of content from hundreds, I don't know, about 800 people, within a month and a half. So I need to go back and check out more of her stuff. And No Ordinary Noir, I forgot her real name, but she is also a black creator, and from what I remember, she does a lot of positivity stuff or whatever. And also Johnny Tran, who I hadn't heard of, who is this tall, very attractive Asian creator. And what's funny is that I managed to sneak into a party that was for influencers or whatever. It was an exclusive party, and it was actually really, well, for me it was really fun because it was at Dave & Buster's, and the Dave & Buster's was amazing. It had sorry, my brain is, I'm very tired. It had all these really cool machines that weren't broken. They had a full on where you sit and move around, and you have the 3D glasses and everything. It was Top Gun. The glasses are still really heavy though. I'm still not sold on VR, not until the glasses are a lot more lightweight. And again, hopefully, maybe some competitors come out that are not owned by Facebook, because fuck Facebook. Funny story about that. I also ended up meeting and talking to some guys that are they're programmers or like marketers, whatever. They're involved with Facebook video, and I was like talking to them, and I was like, you know, I know you guys aren't the decision makers, but I just got to rant a little bit about all the censorship I've gone through with Facebook, and they were sort of like, you know, we're not really supposed to say this, but we agree. And one of them was looking for feedback from creators on, they're trying to like improve collaboration tools in Facebook, and like I was spitballing ideas at him, and he was like, this is so good. He was like writing it all down. I still probably won't ever use it because again, fuck Facebook, but you know, maybe some brand safe creators out there might benefit from the ideas. But yeah, either way, it felt kind of nice to like have someone like writing down my ideas. Anyway, so yeah, so I just came out of the panel, and it was really good. I mean, like I've been to like 3 or 4 diversity panels or whatever, and they've all been really good in slightly different ways. They talked a little bit about on their own about like having videos banned and stuff. Like Crunches and Spice especially has had videos banned because these platforms are not friendly to disabled activists either. I got to ask the question, like, you know, when we have unfriendly, you know, brand unfriendly content, how do we spread awareness and survive? And they basically were saying like, well, like Philosophy Tube, Abigail said that she doesn't really worry about monetization. She just, you know, funnels people to her Patreon, which, you know, is smart. I've had a Patreon for a really long time. I always forget to post to the Patreon when I have new content because it's a cumbersome process. I wish they'd find some way of automating it and like, you know, maybe just automatically put new YouTube videos to the Patreon. Yeah, really, I don't know why they haven't implemented something like that. But anyway, also like, you know, use the platforms to encourage people to go to places that, as they put it, you can control. Which I guess for me, you know, until I have the money to get my own video hosting, which as covered previously is expensive and difficult to set up and everything, I've just been using Trom. I've been trying to do that for a long time, but my audience especially just is very resistant to going to new platforms, especially something like, you know, a Mastodon instance, where it's slightly more difficult to sign up. I mean, I feel like any new platform or whatever is going to be a little bit, you know, different, but, you know, there's tutorials out there on how to do it. I don't know. Anyway, I've had frustrating time trying to get people to do that, but, you know, I'm kind of getting to the, like, I'm kind of thinking that maybe instead of trying to herd cats as far as like getting my existing followers to go to these other platforms, maybe I'll kind of focus on just like trying to reach new people and get them to go to these, you know, maybe a younger audience, maybe less cis white het, you know, older man audience, which, no shame to cis white het older men, as I keep having to stipulate, you know, some of you guys are really good, some of you not so good, but if I want to actually affect change, by which I mean like maybe someday have the same, you know, anti-censorship protection from censorship that male-looking bodies do, I have to reach a lot of people. And when I keep getting banned, and I, you know, even when I don't get banned, my posts get suppressed, and I can't get my followers to do their own posts, you know, supporting my content, retweeting me or doing original posts or whatever where they're not shadow banned because they're a different account, I can't grow. But, you know, whatever. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've accepted that, you know, I'm not gonna ever be famous, at least not until all of a sudden these enough big people on these platforms point out the hypocrisy and maybe do get, you know, YouTube and stuff to consistently allow non-sexual nudity and just female nipples in general, like they do for the Normalizing Nudity channel, which has fully uncensored, full body, you know, naked bodies, including a lot of women that don't get banned, and then my already censored topless content does get banned because the algorithms are so easy to weaponize. Yay! Anyway, so it was a really good panel. I am going to head. I got them pretty much all to sign my shirt. I'm getting quite a few signatures. It's a little hard to sign because the pen's kind of bleeding, so it wasn't the best idea, to have them sign a shirt. But I just, I had the idea on the second day, and I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I don't really normally care about autographs when it's just like on a piece of paper, but something like this is kind of cool. I can like put it in the background of my videos, and maybe in future VidCons have people sign the back, or like, I don't know, it'd just be kind of neat. Oh, and the last person that was in the panel, right, I was talking about him. So Johnny Tran, very tall, attractive Asian creator. He was actually at that secret party, walking around with some friends, and I had never, heard of him. So he was around. I like kind of tried to like have a little bit of conversation with him, and he was just so like, like I don't know. He seemed aloof, but maybe he was just, tired of people trying to talk to him, because I can imagine when you're a famous influencer, you get real tired of just like random people talking to you, especially since, so many of them want something from you. And it's like, all I want to do is like, talk to people and get to know them. And like, I genuinely like talking to people. I like talking about content creation. I like talking about, video games, whatever. But anyway, so he was on this panel, and he talked a little bit about talking about his mental health and his content, apparently, which, I haven't watched his content, so I didn't know that. But yeah, and he was like nice on the panel, and then after the panel ended, I said to him, I was like, I appreciate you talking about your mental health on your content, because it's still stigmatized by a lot of people. And for instance, in Korea, I remember reading a little while ago about a famous star in Korea who was fired from her, I can't remember if it was a guy or a girl, but anyway, fired from their work because they came out about having some mental health struggles, and so they were fired. Because I guess in Korea you do not admit to having any kind of and because I understand, like, they have like the squeaky clean image because they have like, the girl bands, the boy bands, stuff like that. But yeah, so I thanked him, and he was really nice about it, so that was really cool. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead to a networking for LGBTQ event. I think it's the third or fourth networking thing that I'll have gone to at this VidCon. And that first one was kind of a shit show, as I described. Like, there was no host for the first half hour, and then when there was a host for the second half hour, she didn't stop talking so that we could actually network. But I've been to, I went to one for mental health people, and I went to one for activism, I think, and then this one's going to be, like I said, it's for queer people or whatever, so I need to get going to that. I have exchanged info with a lot of people. I am going to be sending emails out after I get home from VidCon. PhilosophyTube, actually, I asked her, like, how can I get info about like speaking fees to do an interview with you? And she said that something like an interview for a YouTube she wouldn't charge for. And I was like, I would be so honored. But like, that's going to be, if that happens, that's going to be a really intimidating and high, I'm gonna try to be really, really, really prepared for that interview, and like quadruple check ahead of time that as much as I can, I have my tech working reliably, so I'm not like wasting her time trying to get tech to work. I don't know, I am just like, technology hates me, and that's why I set like all these proxy things, but I'll still have issues whatever. Alright, so I'm going to go into the networking event. I might vlog again later today if more interesting stuff happens, but again, I probably won't be able to put the videos up until tonight or tomorrow or whatever, because there's not good enough Wi-Fi to upload from my phone. So sorry that the videos are showing up like late, but it's the best I can do. Alright, thanks for watching. See you in the next vlog.